Yes, I'm here. I'm fixing a few things, Steve.
Bida, we are waiting on you. So maybe you can make a few remarks before we start the class.
Okay, Steve, I am fixing a few things here. So you can just get started with the first session.
Okay, wonderful. That's perfect. So again, good afternoon, everyone, for this day. Welcome to the class. So I think we can continue because of time. So welcome to Google Productivity Tools, session 1. And this is the first session that we are going to have for the fellowship. The fellowship is going to last us for another 3 months. So we're here up to almost towards the end of the year, and we look forward to interacting with you guys. And I just want to make sure that you guys feel free to be able to learn. The whole point of the program is so that we can be able to improve the skills of journalists and other media practitioners in South Sudan. So it's my hope and my belief that we are going to give our all to participate as much as possible for the classes so that we can be able to achieve the target that we signed up for during the application session, the application part. So remember that there were many people who had actually applied for this fellowship. So you being part of the team is actually a privilege. So I do not, it's important that you guys do not take this for granted, because previously we had noted that people had not been very engaging in terms of commitment, in terms of actually producing the work that's expected of them. So it's my prayer and my hope that we are going to really do our best to be able to gain the maximum that we can be able to gain from this, sessions. So the first 2 sessions, that's for today and next week on Tuesday, are going to be Google Productivity Tools, and we put them at the beginning of the program so that we can give us a sort of groundwork and the basics. I know the level that we are in as the fellows is different. So some people are more advanced than others in terms of their skills, in terms of how familiar they are with the internet and the various topics that are going to be covered. So I will expect to get a lot of questions, especially from the fellows. If there are things you do not understand, please feel free to interrupt, and we are going to have a wonderful session together. So we're going to start the session for today because of time. That was just like a sort of introduction, but I now want us to start the class. So really, Google Productivity Tools are those tools that have been provided by Google to enhance our day-to-day productivity, our day-to-day work in our various places that we are engaged in. So what we are going to do is just go through them in terms of like individual parts of the tools, and then we are going to learn how each of them is used, the applications and the basics. Of course, I know 2-hour session is not enough to cover all that. So we are going to do about 4 or 5 for today, and then we are going to do another almost also 5 for next week on Tuesday. So we are going to really try and cover as much as possible because of time. So I just challenge us that we are going to participate and also ask enough questions and be able to commit ourselves to learn. I'm just going to do a presentation right away. I'm just going to do a presentation right away. it's clear. Can you guys be able to see my presentation? Hello?
Yes, we can see it. We can see it.
Yes. So this is the first part that we are going to cover. We are going to cover several things that are highlighted up here. Just bear with me because it seems like my screen is a bit messed up. Okay, so I'm just trying to resize it and make it a size that I'm going to be able to work around with. Okay, let me just work on it like that. So the first thing you realize is that from our emails, Google provides for us so many tools that we can build that are available. Most of these tools are actually available for free, and you can be able to engage with any of them. So what we are going to do is we're going to look at a select few of them, those that are common even in our day-to-day work. And of course, it's a challenge that if something is not covered, we can always be able to find a way to be able to refer to. So from my email, how I have been able to access my Google Drive is from my email, I just come to this, to the 9 icons at the top right-hand corner. Then if I click on it, it's going to be able to give me a list that is quite long, but you can also be able to access it through typing by searching the URL from your search window. So Google Drive is an online platform that you can be able to use to store your files. It has several features. I'm going to just go through each of them, and then we are going to move on to the next part. So Google Drive is for those of us who are of a different age, a bit older, we remember the flash drive that we used to carry around. So really, basically, Google Drive is an online-based platform that allows you to store your files in an organized manner, in a way that you can be able to retrieve your files very quickly.
By the way, we cannot see the presentation.
You guys cannot be able to see the presentation?
No, yes. Now we are seeing the document, the untitled document, the application.
Can you be able to see it? Yes?
It's only your picture that is seen. It's only your picture.
Yeah, so we don't see anything. We see your documents now.
Yeah,
that is what I'm presenting. I'm using to explain Google Drive, man.
Our request, why don't you put in point?
Yes?
we are saying what you're seeing on the screen is the document is describing. And also,
guys,
I think
that is the presentation. Can you pay attention, Tafadhali?
Yeah. It would also be good to raise up our hands if we want to say something, so that we have order.
Okay, one thing.
Guys, please pay attention. That's what I'm presenting. I'm explaining what Google Drive is, man. Is that okay? Let's pay attention. Right. Let's pay attention before we interrupt, please. So I'm actually explaining the document that I'm sharing, and then somebody saying the presentation is not visible. So as I was saying that the Google Drive is an online platform that gives us the ability to be able to store files. There are several options. There are several parts of the tool of the. There are several parts of the tool. So the first part, of course, is the right hand side of the tool, and it gives you the ability to be able to organize your files, and that is where you can be able to create in case if you need a new document. So the plus sign that is written new gives you the ability to create several new things. You can be able to create a new folder. You can be able to upload a file. You can also be able to upload a folder, and then you can also be able to create. You can be able to open Google Docs. So you can be either open a blank document or from the template. We're going to look at them. Same for all those others. And then, of course, you can be able to have several other apps that are represented with this icon called More. So you can have Google Maps, Google Sites, and a few other things. So this plus button enables you to be able to create a new folder, or to also be able to upload a file. For example, if it's from your computer, or somebody has sent them to you from a different location, but they have sent it to your email, you can be able to create a new folder. Of course, if you create a new folder, it's going to give you the ability either to have a known name, and the default name is untitled folder. Of course, it cannot be blank. If I put blank, it's not going. It's going to disable the part that says save. But if I say here new folder, you see this icon is automatically activated. So a folder gives you an option to be able to actually store. To be able to store your files here, you can be able to drag and save your files. Of course, we are going to look at that later. You can also be able to create you can also be able to upload a file, or to be able to upload a folder, especially from your computer. So if you say file upload, you see it gives it opens a window, enables you to upload either from your PC. You can also actually just be able to upload from your PC. Then you can be able to select from where you want to upload it, and then you can be able to have the document there. You can also be able to upload a folder. For example, if you have a folder that you already created before, you can be able to upload it and put it in your Google Drive. The advantage of the Google Drive is it's web-based, so you can be able to access it wherever you are, as long as you have internet access, and you can be able to open the account that you used to store. So if you have, like, let's say if you have the password for your email, it's actually an easy way for you to be able to move around your documents, because wherever you are, you can be able to access the internet. You can always be able to open it from this location. And then, of course, now it has several other options down here. My drive is what is open, computers, and then here you can have files that have been shared with you. For example, if you are working as a team, or you're collaborating with other people related to the project, if somebody shares a document with you, it's going to be put here by default. Of course, you can be able to move it around, but here you can be able to have those files in an easy access. Of course, recent are those that you have opened in the recent past. The start documents, you can also be able to put it there. And then the trash is those documents that you have deleted. And of course, now the storage. And then now the other part is the top right hand, the top bar gives you the ability to be able to search to search for something in your Google Drive. You can be able to just type in the data that you want. Also, you can also be able to customize the site so that you are either searching documents alone, or spreadsheets, or presentations, or forms, or folders, PDFs, or videos. So if you can, for example, if you have a lot of data that you have already stored in your data in your Google Drive, you can be able to customize down here and then be able to get the correct ones, the ones that you need. Also, you can be able to do a custom search using these icons that is at the end of the search bar. And be able to customize whichever you want. Either let's say you want only Google presentations or spreadsheets, it's going to give you those options to select. Then the owner. So the owner there are two types of owners as far as Google Drive is concerned. You can be an owner, or those other files that have been shared by you, they are all grouped together. So you can either say owned by anyone, or owned by me, or not owned by me. or spawned by a specific person. So for a specific person, for example, you have to type the email address here. Let's say Vida. If I hit now, and then it's going to give you the option to be able to select, because sometimes you can be like, there's a document that my colleague had sent me, and you want to be able to access it, but you don't remember the name. You can also be able to customize the search. You can just customize the search by putting in their email, and it's going to give you. Of course, there's also this other part has the words. Maybe if you remember the name, but you can access the document, you can search the name of the document, or you can be able to search the. So it has the words such as the contents of the document, but also down here we have the item name, then the location. I can either be in trash or the start here or encrypted. And then date modified, you can be able to customize the date. And also be able to, let's say, check the approvals. So approval, by approval they mean, like for example, if there is a document that somebody has shared with you and you have not opened it, it means that it's awaiting approval, or shared, or a document you had sent to that person. So now here, it's a document that you had sent to somebody. And then of course now also the issue of follow-up, you can be able to customize. And then once you have selected the filters that you desire to use to be able to determine the file that you want, then you just press the search button. And then of course, if you want to clear out the filters, you just press reset, and it's going to clear out all the search filters. So that is the use of the three icons down up here. And then from there are several other things that I want us to look at. These other three icons that are at the top left, the top right. Now we are moving towards the end of the document. So here, so this icon gives you the ability to be able to select those documents, for example, that because Google Drive gives you the ability to be able to actually have documents offline. So the default setting, of course, is it's web-based. It's a web-based application, but you can also be able to do an offline preview. And then you see down here it says offline preview turned on, and it gives you the ability to be able to see how it looks like when you are offline. And you see the offline preview disables several other things. For example, cannot be able to, let's say, get like the questions or something like that. But it also automatically enables these other icons that you can be able to clearly see the documents. So it's usually not a very, very important part, but you can be able to try it out. And then the support is those documents and that information that Google has provided to be able to give you like more information about that particular product that you are working on. For example, now for the Google Drive, you can be able to get help, you can be able to get trainings, and you can also be able to get updates. For example, if when Google, let's say, update something or provide a new feature, you can be able to search on it there. Let's just give a preview for the updates. You see here, you can be able to type help, but you can, of course, now you're saying you cannot. I don't know if I'm offline. So let's just check the help. Sometimes when your net is not very strong, it can be able. Okay, now it's has enabled. Can be able to find help resources, several help resources. You can be able to get know how to find or recover a file, how to share files, how to contact Google Drive support, how to delete and restore files in Google Drive, and then how to use. So these icons, I really highly suggest that we go through them in our own individual times. It will give us a much more detailed version of how to be able to use the application. You can also be able to ask help from the community, and you can also be able to contact Google, and then you can also be able to send your feedback. So these are the options that it avails for you on the help icon to be able to actually learn more about the tool and how to be able to use it. And then if I press this is trainings, you see it automatically opens a new window. It automatically opens a new window that has so much products, so many products. It opens a new window that has so many products. That you can be able to actually use for like to be able to learn more about the tool and how to be able to actually use it. So you can be able to know how like to learn by product. So if you drag down, you can be able to actually get so many items that you can be able to learn on. So it gives you things like a cheat sheet for the Google Drive, quick reference for Drive basics. You can be able to check Drive for desktop and be able to do productivity guides. Can be able to do workspace tips to build virtual teams. Can be able to have so many options that you can be able to review and be able to study for your own individual work. And also it also provides videos, so how businesses can get started. So that is learn how businesses use Google Drive, learn how to upload files to Google Drive, and of course it provides for you more resources. So basically it's a sort of university or learning center for the particular item that we are using, so that you can be able to actually improve your skills and be able to learn more from the features that are available from the company that has made the product. Also be able to learn by role or industry, and be able to customize your learning more using this icon called learn by role and industry. So for example, how a digital marketing person uses Google Drive is maybe different from how a project management person uses it. So you can be able to actually select the one that you want, and you can be able to learn as much as possible. And also be able to get hybrid workplace tips, productivity tips, discuss topics with your teams, brainstorm colleagues, clean up data, analyze, go paperless. It has so many items that you can actually be able to learn and improve your skills. You can also be able to check out the business tutorials, plan and manage a project, plan and hold meetings from anywhere, hold large remote events. Also be able to switch from Microsoft. So guide for switch from Microsoft, Google Workspace, migration from Microsoft Outlook, and use Outlook with Google Workspace. Then of course it provides for you the support. So that is the learning center, the Google Workspace Learning Center, that will enable you to be able to actually improve the skills and to be able to learn as much as possible from the options that are provided for you there. You can also be able to describe your issue here. Let's say, for example, I cannot locate my files. And then it's going to give you a search result that is related to what you have actually typed there. So you see now here, I said I cannot locate my files, therefore, and now it has opened for me several items that I can be able to use there. So that is the training part that for this for the question, for the training, and then the updates. Of course, we have we can also be able to look at that, the updates. Updates are just those items that have been provided by Google to be able, let's say if they say they have like a new option that you can be able to, like maybe something that they knew that they have introduced, you can be able to check the updates. And then now down here, we have several things that I want us to look at before we conclude for this particular part. So the My Drive part is divided into three sections: the suggested, and then the folders and the files at the bottom. So you find that here, the suggested are really those documents that you have opened. Those documents that you have opened, like is sort of the search history with this part being occupied by the item that you opened last, and then of course in descending order. As for the suggested part, and then for the folders, this is all the folders that you have in the Google Drive. Remember, we saw how to create a new folder here. New folder. So when I create a new folder, it's automatically added to this list of folders. So you can also be able to customize how these folders appear and be able to either do ascending order or descending order. And be able to customize last modified by me, last opened by me. So the arrow represents either ascending order or descending order. But then you'll find that when I click on this arrow, it also edits automatically even how the files are organized down here. So down here we have the files that are present in the different folders that we have in the second section. So you find that all your files are organized down here. And then, of course, let's say, for example, if you don't have a lot of files, you can just be able to scroll down and you'll be able to check the files that are available in your Google Drive. And then the last bit that I want us to look at is this icon. You can also be able to change how your list appears. So you can either be able to have a grid layout or a list layout. So you find that sometimes maybe your preference or something like that, maybe you want it to appear as a grid, you can just be able to customize it like that, and then you're going to get all your information organized in the way that you have selected. So it switches back and forth between list and grid view. And then of course, now this icon is just to show the details of the folders. You can be able to just click here and hide the details section. So that is basically how Google Drive operates. You can also be able to share your items, but we are going to look at that when we look at the various specific items that are available from the workspace. So I don't know if anybody has any question before we proceed. Any question on the Google Drive? I know it's a very summarized way because we have a lot of work that we need to cover. So maybe if people have questions, we can be able to ask for the Google Drive, and then we can be able to proceed to the rest of the.
Yeah, I see a hand from Mahmoud. Yes, Mahmoud, you can ask a question.
Okay, thanks for giving me this chance. My question is like, how do you share the work that you two people want to work together, like the moderator who is in Nairobi and I within Juba here? If we want to work on the same document on the same time, how do we sit and work on it at the same time?
Yes, and then
okay.
have,
So to answer that.
Steve,
hello.
Let us get to the questions, and then we will answer them later.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we are with you, sir.
I'm saying that I'm going to show us how to share the documents once we get into the specific once we get into the documents and the spreadsheets and the rest of the specific documents. I'm going to cover that. Is that okay? We are going to cover that in a few minutes. Any other question?
Okay.
Okay.
No other question.
Are you getting me?
Bida?
Yes, are you getting me?
Any question?
Steve, are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes, we are getting you, please.
Yes, so you check all the questions and then we will answer them later.
So I see that Adau has a question and Diane has a question. Maybe both of them can ask their questions. Guys, any
Good
question?
afternoon. Yeah, I have a question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is, I want to know whether the Google Drive that we are installing or we are uploading the files or the folders, whether it can work when we are using phones. Because now I have this.
I'm not getting you clearly, my dear. Hello?
Yeah, and I'm getting you.
I'm not getting your question clearly.
I want to know whether the Google Drive can work also on the phone and that we can be able to upload files and folders as well using the phone.
Or using your phone? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You can be able to use your phone for the Google Drive, but you'll have to install it first. It's not inbuilt.
Yeah,
you have
I have it as an application. But the icons that are being shown, like the plus sign now.
So which icon is not showing?
Yeah, it's not there unless when you click the file and then it shows you all the stuff that all the icons that you just showed us, like share, start.
Bida, are you getting it? Bida, are you getting her?
Yeah, I'm getting her.
Hello? Are you getting her? Because I cannot get, I think she's speaking maybe too fast or something. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't get that. You said that, what's the problem with your phone?
Our question is,
Her question is?
Yeah, I have a question.
Let's first finish her question. Somebody maybe who heard her clearly maybe can tell me what her question is.
Sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
What is your question? You say that you have the application on your phone. So what's up with it?
I have the Google Drive application. So the procedures, on is it the same if we are to follow it? Like if I want to upload my files onto the Google Drive?
Yes, it's just the same. It's just basically the same. But of course, the display is not going to be exactly the same, but uploading the files is very easy. Because when you go to the part that save files, you see for the phone, it has only 4 options: the priority, the workspaces, the shared folders, and then the files. So when you go to the files, there is a plus icon. There's a plus icon that you can be able to share, and you can also be able to create a new file. It's just basically the same. Even the display, to be able to switch between the displays, is the same. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah, moving. Thank you.
Okay. I have a question.
What is the another question?
Yes, I have a question. I have a question, but you are muting me.
Yes.
Yeah. My question is that can I be able to use my Google Drive offline when I'm not on the internet?
When you're not online?
Yes.
No, you cannot. It is web-based, so you have to be online for you to be able to access the Google Drive. Another question? I hope that's clear, right?
I have a question also.
Yes.
Any other question?
Yes, I do.
Hello, can you hear me?
There's no any other question? Yes?
I have a question also.
We're listening.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, my question is this.
We are waiting for the question.
My question is very simple. Like, it is kind of related to the one of Ayan. Like, the question is, if like I have the Google Drive in my phone, it is always telling me that it is full. Is there a way that I can increase the storage? Because there are some internet pop-ups that do come up in my phone saying that you can increase your storage.
So the way to be able to deal with that is you have two options. Either you, maybe like if you have old files that you do not need, you can be able to delete them, or you can also be able to buy storage. At the bottom right-hand corner, for example, on the laptop, you can be able to see somewhere here that says buy storage. You see, for me, I've already used 8.4 GB or 15. So if it gets full, for example, or if I need to apply a lot of work, you can be able to buy the storage from Google. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any other question?
I have a question. I have a concern. I have a concern.
Malek, you have a question?
I have a concern. I'm saying I have a concern.
I cannot be able to hear you at all.
I have a concern.
Guys, when you're asking a question, please try to be a little bit more loud so that you can be able to hear you.
I'm saying I have a concern. Hello?
Your voice is very far.
I have a concern.
He's saying you want to confirm.
I have a concern. I have a concern to make.
I can't hear him.
Okay.
He said you have a concern.
You can also be able to type your question as a message on the chat box.
He's saying he has a concern. He's saying he has a concern. A concern.
What is the concern?
My concern is when you go to the next session, be slow. Did you hear me?
Just put your concern on the chat box so we can continue because of time. Any other question? I see some questions on the chat box, and let me just address them quickly before we can move on. Yes, Adau? So guys, please, if you are not asking a question, please make sure that you mute yourself, because so that we do not have a lot of background noise that's interrupting the presentation. So the display, of course, for the phone is always going to be different from the display on the laptop, but of course, because the screen size is not the same, but it has all the features that are available even on your phone. So I think we can proceed from there because of time. So now what I want us to look at is, now this, the Google Drive is a sort of a sort of mashing together of so many options, but then there are several items that I want us to look at. And the first item that I want us to look at is the Google document. I don't know, there seems like there's some lens on my screen. I hope it's not going to interrupt us even as we do the presentation. So the document, the way you access it, of course, is just like the way, there of course there are two ways to be able to access the document. There are two ways to be able to access a Google document. You can be able to access it from your drive. So when you come to your drive, you say new, and then you can be able to get a Google Docs, and it will give you automatically an untitled document. So untitled document is a document that is blank and has no specific name assigned to it. So we're just going to go through it. This is basically the same as the normal Microsoft Word document, but then it has a few other advanced features. Of course, you just rename the document just the way you always name a new document. And be able to, if it maybe, let's say, for example, if you want to easily identify it, you can be able to click on the start part. You can also be able to choose where to store in the Google Drive, and you can also be able to see the document status. So those three icons are just really a way to simplify access for the document once you have already done the work that you needed to do on it, and then you can be able to access it very easily in the Google Drive. So it has, of course, the normal options. So for the file option, you have you can be able to create another new document. Can be able to create a blank document, or can be able to get a template. And the reason Google provides templates is because they want to make the work very much easier for the individual, in the sense that, let's say, for example, if you want to get a document on, let's say, for example, you can just go through the examples, and then you're going to see exactly what I mean. Maybe if you want to make your CV, a resume, there are two options. You can be able to also get a letter, you can be able to get a project proposal, you can be able to get a brochure. So what it does is, once they give you the template, you can be able to edit the template and customize it into the way that you want it to look like, into the specific way that you want it to look. So those are just the recently used ones. And then, of course, it gives you several options for the resumes, for letters, for personal items. So things like a recipe. And then for work, you have project proposals, meeting notes, several options. Can be able to also have onboarding notes, can be able to make a brochure, can be able to make a newsletter. It gives you very, very many options that you can be able to select and use it immediately for your specific task that you want to achieve. But then now you find that there are those that say that these are add-ons. I think you'll have to install them first before you can be able to use them. So those are the templates galleries. And then, of course, now you can be able to also access the folder. So you can be able to open, and it automatically takes you to your Google Drive, and be able to open recent documents opened, and be able to check your drive, can be able to check those that have been shared with you, those that are started. Remember, we said at the beginning that you can be able to start a document. Once you start it, it's going to come automatically to this folder, and be able to check from the computers, and you can also be able to upload from your computer. So you see that this one is very specific. You can only be able to upload, you can only be able to open Microsoft Word documents from the new document part. And then by Drive checks for you the it brings for you the folders, and also all the Microsoft, all the Word documents that are in your that are in your folder, in your Google Drive. And also be able to share. So here, can be able to share it with the others. This is that question that somebody had asked at the beginning, where they asked if you can actually be able to have a document that you guys, several people are working on, even if they are not together. So share means you can be able to actually add participants, and they will be able to have access that can be able to customize, so that they can be able to also keep contributing to the document, or they can be able to see the progress that you're making. For example, if it's some work you're doing for the company and the boss needs to see the document and be able to actually add their name here, then they're going to be able to actually have the access that you grant to them. But then let me just clarify something here. For the access, you can be able to actually customize how much access you want them to have. So because you see down here that you can be able to actually share the link. So if you share the link, you can be able to customize here, either to make it restricted or anyone with the link. Because, for example, if it's a company document that is sensitive, you can be able to actually restrict it so that not anybody can just be able to use it. Guys, tafadhali, let's mute. Somebody is having the background noise. So please mute. Thank you for that. So we continue. Can also be able to. So for the sharing for the document, can actually be able to publish to the web. But then you can also be able to email the file. So this gives you the ability to actually be able to share the document. So email this file. You see that you can be able to either send yourself a copy or not. You can be able to type the email here for the person you want to send to, and also be able to check to change the subject of the email, and you can also be able to have an email. And then so you have two options for sharing on the email. You can either be able to attach the contents of this document as the message, or you can be able to include this document as a specific format. So these are the formats that you can be able to use. You can be able to attach it as PDF, RTF, open document, HTML, Microsoft Word, or plain text. So instead of, let's say, for example, here we have a new document for project. And then here you can be able to see, hello, attached is the document. Is the project document. And then, so that's the message that the person is going to get, but you can be able to attach. So the default is to attach, but if you do not want to attach, of course, we'll disable that, and the contents is going to be pasted inside the message alongside with the template that you have created for yourself. So that's how you share it as an email. Also be able to download the document as a Microsoft Word and all these other options, PDF, RTF, open document format, and the rest. And be able to rename, you can be able to move between folders, can be able to add a shortcut, can be able to move to trash, can be able to see version history. For example, if you guys have been working on the document for several months, you can be able to actually see the progress from when the document started being used until that particular time. Also be able to make it available offline and be able to check the details. You can, another thing I wanted us to really look at is you can actually be able to edit the language in which you are actually making the document. So the default, of course, for me is for English, but you can be able to have an option if, let's say, for example, if you speak Arabic or you speak French or any of these other languages that are highlighted here, and be able to select, and then automatically the contents that are going to be in that language once you start typing them. You can also be able to print just like a normal Microsoft Word document, and be able to connect to your printer and be able to print. And then for the edit, of course, you can be able to move back and forth, can be able to view, can be able to disable the ruler, you can be able to put screen, you can show section breaks. You can be able to really do a lot of work. You can really, then, so that's the view. Then you can be able to insert several other things. So this is, for example, if your document is not yet complete, you can be able to insert a table or an image. So for an image, you can be able to get an image from any of these options. So you can be able to get an image from your computer, you can search the web, you can be able to get an image from your Google Drive, from your Google Photos. If you have the URL of the image, you can just be able to just get the URL, and you can also be able to take a photo by using the computer or the phone camera that you are using. You can be able to insert a table. So you can either be able to have a template, you can be able to have a template, or you can be able to actually just insert a normal table like that. It's going to automatically put for your table in there. And then you can be able to get a drawing, either a new drawing. So let's say new. So especially for those people who do a lot of design work, the drawing gives you the ability to actually be able to make the item that you want. You can be able to use the word art. So enter to save, use shift enter for multiple lines, and be able to insert a text box here. Then insert the text box. Then hello, this is good. Then you can be able to, of course, adjust or move around the drawing. You can be able to also be able to add to insert an image in your drawing. You can also be able to actually put a shape, whichever shape that you want, even equations. You see, you can be able to add all those equations, call outs, arrows, and shapes. And then that will be able to actually customize, and then you can be able to say save and close. And it's automatically going to be added to this to where you had placed in your cursor. You can also be able to click on it and edit. So just give me a minute. I set up my internet. It seems like it's getting messed up. So that is actually be able to insert all those options. So save and close. That's going to, if you want to remove it, you can just say so my internet is a bit messed up. I'm just working. This cannot disappear. Okay. Hello, can you guys be able to hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can get it.
Can you hear me?
I'm getting you.
You are loud and clear.
So that's how you can be able to insert the options that you want. So that's for the drawing. You can be able to also insert a chart. So let's say, for example, if you want to visualize your data, you can be able to insert a line chart, bar chart, column chart, or you can be able to import a chart from your Google Sheets, and then you can be able to just, let's say, for example, if you're making a report or something, if you want to insert your chart, you can just come insert from Google Sheets, and then it's going to automatically add. So you see that you can be able to insert so many things, even an emoji, smart clips. You can be able to insert this drop-down building block. So it means that you can actually be able to insert a lot of things as long as you know what you're looking for. to be able to actually use for your work. The other part is the format. Of course, now this is just to check things like orientation, page style, the text, the type of text that you want added, then the tools, and then the extensions. So these extensions, you actually have to install them, and then you will be able to use them. So please mute. Somebody is not mute. Infinix Smart 6, tafadhali mute. Infinix Smart 6. Thank you for that. So let's say, but sometimes you might find that you do not want something that is you have included here. So for example, for this drawing that we had inserted here, if you do not want it, you just press delete. It's going to undo it. But then if you want to actually go back to having it, you use the arrows to move back and forth. So if you go back, it's going to keep going back to up to the beginning, up to where you want it to be. And then, of course, now you can be able to put in your text. The text is just the normal way that you put text in a Microsoft Word document. So we can say, example document. I think I do not need to actually keep typing that. Can be able to make edits for this text that you have included. So here you can say this is for training. Purposes. So the text that you have included here, you can be able to do you can be able to include a lot of things on it. So for example, you can be able to select it. So just press and hold the cursor and then drag to cover all the text. You can be able to make it bold, and be able to increase the size, and be able to change the color, can be able to change the font type. So the default is Arial, but you can be able to include Times New Roman or Calibri, whichever format that you want, and be able to also edit. For example, especially if you're making a more complicated document, you can be able to select whether your text is a title or subtitle or heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And this really helps you. For example, if you're making a table of contents, you can be able to insert a table of contents, but you cannot be able to get the table of contents clearly if you have not classified your text in the correct way for you to be able to actually include it in the table of contents. So continuing with that, you can be able to make it italic, can be able to make it underlined, can be able to change the color and say make it red, can be able to also make the fill color. So there are two types of colors for all the Google options. For the Google productivity tools, you can either be able to have test color or highlight color. So highlight color is a sort of fill color. You can be able to select any of the colors that you want here. So let's say if I select blue, and then even if I continue writing my work somewhere else, the setting is automatically installed on it because it's the setting that I had taken from this document, that this text line that I already had installed here. So we continue. Can be able. So for this text, for example, if you are making the document, for example, together with your colleagues, maybe the boss is going through the document, they can be able to actually highlight they can be able to highlight the text that you have already used. And maybe they can be able to, let's say, make something like a comment. So if I want to add a comment, I have an option to actually add 3 things. I can either be able to add a comment, add an emoji reaction, or suggest edits. So for example, if I want to add a comment, it's going to give me a comment here. So let's say, check the details here. But then if I'm working with a large number of people on the same document, for example, 4 or 5 people, if I want a specific person to actually check that document, the way I select that is once I have already typed what I want them to check here, I go Shift Alt, and then this is going to give me the highlight of all the emails that I want to add. For example, if I want to add, let's say, I can add my own. So you see that here, automatically I add the email of that person to be able to assign that comment to that individual person. And once you press assign, it's going to be able to automatically notify that person that actually that other individual has made a comment on the document that you guys are working on. You just press assign, and automatically it will give you the ability to be able to, of course, you cannot be able to assign it, you are not share the document with that person. So if you want to share the document with the person, we are going to look at that. So let's just assume I had already given access to that person. So just say share, and you see automatically that comment is highlighted here, and I can be able to actually just check it here, and then you can be able to that person can be able to reply, or you can add other people to this specific comment that you have. So I hope we are following on how I'm moving. It's just because I'm using these icons to be able to move, so I decided to just show that option for us. So for example, you can add an emoji. Let's say we add an emoji here, and then of course now you can be able to add the emoji that you want to be able to assign for that person. So let's say let's say cloud. So let's say, for example, a club. You see automatically it's added in here. So you can be able to actually add so many several things on the particular document that you're working on. And then of course we keep moving on the bar here. So you can also be able to insert a link. For example, if you have a link that you want to be able to insert, you can just insert a link here. And then of course now, let's say google.com. And you see now, can actually be able to search google.com. And then you see now automatically it adds the setting that you already have. Of course, now let's say we do not want to highlight that. So let's say, for example, I do not want it italic, I do not want it underlined, I do not want it bold, I do not want it to have the fill color. Just disable all that here. And then you can be able to see that I can be able to continue with the text, but this is put in as a link that is specific here. So for example, if I want to, let's say, add a link about someone, so I just say insert a link, and then define it. Define it now. I'll just add the email there. Then you see automatically it adds. So when I click on that, it automatically takes me to the page of that individual organization. And then of course now it's really an easy way, instead of you inserting links and putting a long text on your document, you can be able to just use this option of insert link, and then it's automatically going to insert the link for that particular organization. And then the person working on that document can be able to just go straight to the document just from the just from automatically from the Google Doc that you already have. So you can also be able to insert an image. I think we already checked that. You can be able to insert a comment. You can be able to, let's say, I don't know what. So for this text, I can just use this as an example. I can just use this as an example to be able to highlight a few things. So you can be able to change the alignment of this text. So there are three options for alignments. You either have a left alignment, a center alignment, or right alignment. So if I say right alignment, for example, it automatically puts the text here, and it starts the typing from right to left. This other option, the justify part, is let's say if you're having a lot of information, you want it organized in a very proper way. So for you to be able to actually have the text in a more neat way, you can use the justify option, and the application is going to automatically align your text in a way that is very presentable, and in a way that, because for example, this one, it cannot be aligned because the text is very small. So you see, immediately I try to align it, it automatically justifies it to the left. First, the default is the left alignment, but then you can be able to align, especially if you have a lot of text that you are working with. And also be able to change the line spacing, can also be able to do a checklist, can insert a bullet or a number. For example, if you're making a list, and then you say here, names. So let's move the setting here, make it black, no fill. So let's just make it bold. So let's say if I have names of participants. So if I want to start at the list, I can just put I can just put the bullets there, or I can be able to put the numbers. So if I have here S T R, you see immediately it automatically aligns them the way you want them to be aligned. So if I can just change that and make it bullets. So if I just click on one of them, it's going to select the rest. See, automatically selects the rest. And then I can just be able to adjust them here, depending on the kind of representation that I want to display. Another thing that I want us to look at is actually, there's a specific thing I'm looking for. Yes, it's here. Let's say, for example, if you want your document, for example, to have, you see usually those documents, especially government documents, that says that this document is by Ministry of Education, or maybe, for example, if you want to have a background, can be able to insert a watermark. So you come to insert option, and then this part that says watermark brings you to this dialog box, and you want to insert a text. So let's say hashtag DeFi hits now. So I can be able to actually put it in such a way that I can be able to increase the transparency. You can be able to change the format. You can be able to make it bold. Say let's push it bold, and then italic, and then I change the color. Let's say put purple. You see automatically down here. I hope you guys can be able to see where I have put the watermark. You see the watermark is automatically inserted. But if I do not make it bold and not italic, you see how it automatically changes. And maybe if I want to reduce the size, and just decrease the font size or increase the font size and make it bold. So for example, if you want to make it visible, you can make it like that. So transparency is sort of make it to fade. So if I increase the transparency, the more transparent it is, the more kind of faded it is. So if I take it to 100%, it automatically disappears. But usually there are those that there is acceptable transparency. Of course, you can't put it to get 0% because when I put the text down here, of course, it's going to override, but it's going to really be able to create a lot of distraction, especially if text keeps overlapping with it. So transparency is not advisable to have more. Just reduce the transparency to around maybe 75% or even 60%. Can be able to actually just put the transparency at that level. The default, of course, is horizontal from diagonal from bottom left to top right, or you can also be able to put it horizontal, but it's usually advisable to put diagonal because it covers more space. And the placement, you see, you can be able to adjust that. And then once you have already put it like that, you can just be able to say done, and automatically the watermark is going to be included in your document. So I don't know if people have questions, because I see my time is far much spent and I still have 2 items that I want us to look at. Any question? I know I have moved quite fast, but there is one thing I want us to look at before we move away. Something that is very, very important that I think it's key. Sometimes you do not want to type your text. Google actually provides for you are not going to be able to speak your words, and then the application automatically detects the words that you are saying. So you can be able to actually do voice typing. By voice typing, I mean, instead of actually inputting your text through your keyboard, you can be able to input your text through voice typing. So like speaking, and then automatically the machine will detect your voice and convert it into text. So the way you do that is you come to the tools option. I hope you can go to all see that. Then there is this small icon that says here voice typing. If you enable this icon, it's actually going to, okay, you can actually be able to type the data that you are presenting. You see automatically my voice is actually getting typed automatically without me actually using the keyboard. So it can be a very interesting way for you to be able, let's say for example, if there's a meeting that you are doing with the office, you can be able to automatically record the information that you're having in terms of not really by typing or doing anything like that, but once you enable that setting, it's going to automatically capture your voice and convert it into text that you can be able to refer to maybe later, or you can be able to actually just save it into a document. So you see that it keeps typing. So I thought that it was a very important tool that we can be able to apply, so that I'm sure it's going to be helpful in one way or another. And then once you are done with it, you can just be able to click on the red icon, and automatically it will disappear. You can see period and add a new line. So period is to add the full stop. And you see that automatically. So for example, if I want to disable that, automatically my voice has been recorded very clearly. You see that it's almost very accurate, especially if you are speaking a language that the machine can be able to detect. But then if you start speaking things that the machine cannot be able to detect, it's going to actually try and convert those texts into the setting, the language that you already set your document in at the beginning. Here we, of course, at the language setting, can be able to set into the language that you want, so that any text that you pronounce or say is going to be automatically converted into that language. So any question? Any questions? My apologies for the echoes because of the setting, the location where I'm working from. That's unfortunate. One thing we are going to have to keep struggling with because of the setting in which I usually work from. Yes, Asiki Alex.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for the
Also,
opportunity. I would like. Yes, this is Asiki Alex. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to know, will because network really disturbed me, I got in online lately. So will I be able to get the video recorded?
Maybe Bida can answer that question for us.
Okay.
Bida? Can somebody be able to access the video recording later?
Yeah. I will share the link on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, perfect. Ayan, you have a question? Yes. Ayan?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was asking, after seeing the fact that you can talk on the text, you can talk and then the text can be written out. Is it possible to actually transcribe any audio?
I actually I honestly have to check that, because maybe, of course, now you can be able to merge the audio and the Google Doc, then you can be able to transcribe that. But maybe allow me to check on that, and then I get back to you in the next class. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. Because for journalism, you do a lot of recording of interviews, and so it can be really helpful to be able to transcribe audio also. So I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Seems that people are satisfied. Can we continue? We have 2 items that we still have to cover. Any other question? Okay, I think we can continue.
Yes, hello.
Mwanza?
Hello?
Yes?
Yeah. Asked you on watermark. I don't know if we can just run through again on watermark.
Okay. So the watermark, as you know, the watermark usually is a way for you. So if you want to insert the watermark, so let me just answer that question, then we can ask another one. So if you want to insert the watermark, you just come to the document, insert. Down here, you have several things that you can be able to insert. You can insert a smart sheet.
Share the screen. You have.
Can you be able to see my screen?
You have put it on the corner. It's on the corner now. You can spread it.
Yes.
Can you share it? Can you share it full?
It's not sharing full.
No, it's on the corner.
Can you guys be able to see the whole document?
Yes.
So you come, so you insert you come to the insert icon at the toolbar, and then you click on the part that says watermark, and then it's going to give you the ability to customize your watermark either in 2 ways. You can be able to put an image, and then of course now you can be able to you select an image, and then you can be able to insert. But then the most famous watermark is a text. So for the text, it gives you several options. So the first part is the part that you insert the text that you want. So let me now put small letters so that you can be able to see. So the text, you can be able to also format the font that you want. Let's say Times New Roman, and then can be able to have several other options. Can be able to change the font size, increase or decrease. Can make it bold or not bold, and make it italic or not. Can also be able to change the color depending on the color that you want. For example, if you're customizing the document according to the theme color for your organization, can be able to get the options there. Can be able to also change the transparency. So transparency basically is how clear the text is. Not really clear, but how faded the text is. So it starts from 0 up to 100%. So transparency really is sort of how transparent that text is. So the more you increase the transparency, the less visible the text becomes. So you can use this scroll bar to be able to adjust the transparency. You see at 75% is much less visible as, let's say, compared to, let's say, 45%. The more you decrease the transparency, the more visible and more clear the text is going to be. You can also be able to change it from diagonal to horizontal. The default, of course, usually is the diagonal from bottom left to top right hand corner. You can also be able to make it horizontal depending on how you want it to be located. And then once you have been able to design it into the way that you want it to be like, you can just, the way you save is, you say done, and automatically it's going to get saved like that. But then if you want to remove it, there are two ways. You can either just come to the watermark itself and double click. It's going to give you that option. You can either be able to edit, or you can be able to actually just delete it, and it's going to automatically disappear. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
Is that clear? Okay, you're welcome. So I think we can be able to, okay, iPhone has a question, and then I see several other people have questions. So maybe we can ask the questions together, and then I can be able to try and answer them all. So we start with Alex Asiki. Your question? Alex?
Yes, my question, you did answer, Bida answered it already.
Okay. Gatiek, yes? You have your hand raised up?
Yes.
What's your question?
Hello?
What's your question?
I missed it. I want to know where I can find attendance that I can write my name and then because
attendance?
I came late.
Attendance?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Bida is going to address that. iPhone? Somebody's name iPhone?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. You getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Like here where we are trying to like you see where the dots are? How do we change the listed names into numbers and all of them, like you highlight all of them, then they will all change to numbers, or you because you had told us we have to first like the first dot. I want to know how to change it into numbers and all change. Yeah.
Oh, here? You're saying that?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
in the dots with
So what you do is you highlight, and once you highlight, it's going to select all of them. And then at the toolbar, there is that option for the either to have booleans or to have numbers. If you make it a numbered list, automatically it's going to change.
Okay.
Have you seen how
But
I
you
did
had,
that?
yeah, I did. But you had talked about how you just like if you change the first digit, and all go. There was something you said like that.
So what I said is you highlight one of them, because you see now you just change that particular one.
Yeah.
It actually works both ways. So even if you highlight just the first one, if you highlight even just the first one like that,
yeah,
it's going. You can actually be able to change all of them.
Oh, that's the thing. That was what I was talking about. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I think we can move to. I see my time is how much spent, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through one last item, and then the next class we can try and see if we can go to cover more things. Is that okay? Okay, so we go to spreadsheets. So of course, the way you access the spreadsheet is just the way that you access the document. So you say new spreadsheet. So you can be able to access it either from your Google Drive or just from your email using the three icons. When you press the 9 icons at the top right corner, you scroll down, you just come to the place that says Google Sheets, and then it's going to open your Google Sheets. And then from there, you can be able to create a new Google Sheet just from your from the template. There's an icon at the bottom right corner that is written, that's a plus sign with the Google colors. So you can be able to either get a template, or you can be able to create a spreadsheet. Automatically, it's going to give you the one that you have selected. So basically, what I'm going to do is there is a part we are going to look at Google Sheets in detail when we do data analysis and data journalism. So I'm just going to run through an overview for the same for like 10 minutes, and then we are going to actually have a more detailed look at the application. I think maybe like this month or maybe next month, depending on how the program is going to be organized. So the spreadsheet, of course, is just like a normal Excel sheet, but it's of course web-based because all the Google products are web-based. So it has, of course, the first thing you need to do is always title. Give your spreadsheet a title. Give a title. So another cool feature with the Google productivity tools is you not have to keep saving like the way you do with a Google document, for example, because you find that sometimes you have a Google document that you're working on and you have to keep saving so that, let's say, if power disappears, your work will not disappear. Google productivity tools automatically save your work. So that's why you do not see that icon for save, like the one you have for for offline products. Offline products. Please let's mute tafadhali. Okay, thank you. So of course, the spreadsheet is a normal just like a normal Excel sheet. Can be able to move up and down using some shortcut keys. So let's say, for example, if I want to move the bottom part of the document, I can be able to just press Control, and then I use the down key arrow, the arrow key that presses that points down. And then if I want to move back up, I do not have to keep scrolling using the scroll bar. It's going to take me a very long time to be able to actually get there. Also be able to move on this side. You see the default is it gives you 26 columns by 1000 rows. That's the default, but of course you can always be able to add more can be able to add more columns and more rows. That is the beginning. You can be, of course, the toolbar is pretty much just like the ones for Excel. So you have the file and be able to have a new file. You can be able to open already made files. You can be able to import. You can be able to make a copy. So this part that says import, let's say, for example, if I want to get information from, let's say, another place, I do not have to just keep going back and forth. I just say import, and then it's going to give me an option to be able to get my file from whichever parts from where it is actually located. I'm able to get it from my Google Drive or those that have been shared with me. You can also be able to open the recent ones. And also another very important part is you can actually be able to upload the file from your computer. You can either drag a file, for example, if there's a document, a file you have already downloaded and it's closed, and just be able to drag a file, or if you prefer, you can be able to select a file from your device, and automatically it's going to add the content into the spreadsheet, the blank spreadsheet that you have actually that where you actually want to get your data from. And then you can, of course, this feature is very common for all the documents. The share, email, and download can be able to download in the different formats. Can be able to do a CSV, a PDF, or a Microsoft Excel, or a tab separated values. Can be able to email the file. Can be able to share. So share the file is adding collaborators. So collaborators really is those people who have access to the document that will be able to give you to give them the ability to actually work on the document remotely. For example, if you guys are working on a project and there is some work that you need to be able to do collaboratively, and just be able to share the document. So let's say file, share with others, or can be able to come to the top right hand corner and this icon that says share. So it tells you you share this file, the name of the file that you have here. Then of course you just type the email name of the person that you want to share, and then you notify them. You can also write a message to tell them that this is the document that we are working on, kindly check. Then you can also be able to edit the kind of access that they have for the document. They can either be an editor or they can be a viewer or comment. So an editor is that person that actually have the ability to also add content into the document, so they can be able to add or remove content. A viewer is somebody who just has the ability to just view the document, but they cannot make changes. And then a commenter is somehow like in between a viewer and an editor, because they can be able to add comments, but they cannot be able to change the content of the information that you have actually shared in the document. So that is really the difference between the various settings. So a viewer is they can be able to see the document, but they cannot be able to, but they cannot be able to change the content. A commenter, they can be able to view and add comments, but they cannot be able to change the content. But then an editor really is are giving them full access to that document, so that they can be able to make any changes or be able to make any applications that they want to do on the data. So that's how you share the document with other people. There are a few other format things that you can be able to add, but then I want us to look at a few. You find Google Sheets is very similar to Google Excel in such a way that you can actually be able to do a lot of data analysis and data cleaning, and the same can be able to add formulas, maybe like to do graphs and stuff like that. But as I say, we are going to look at all that once we get to the once we get to the data analysis part. We're going to have a full class for just Google Docs, Google for Google Sheets. We'll be able to have a class on that when the time arrives. So I'll request that we go through it, and maybe like you can take your time and Google a few things on the same and practice. Of course, it's just like Microsoft Excel, so you can just keep adding the content, name, then let's say here, gender, you can say here age, you can say education level. So what I'm showing us is that it's actually exactly just the same like Excel. So you add the content as tabs, as cells, not as tabs. You add content on the cells. So let's say A, B, C, D, then E, then male, male, female, 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 and then age is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, and then let's say here low, and then high, low, then medium. So I'm just showing us that actually the content that you can be able to add, can just be able to type in your content, just like the normal way you can be able to type your content into an Excel spreadsheet. And then of course it's going to be displayed in the way that you want it to be displayed. So you can be able to even change the alignment. So let's say I want to make the title bold. So I come, I select that, and then I come to the icon bold. I can also be able to have a fill color for the title. And then of course now you can be able to do several analysis on that, but we are going to look at that once we start the class for data analysis and data cleaning. So really that is just how you can be able to input your data. But then there is one other thing that I really want us to look at, because I think it's a very important thing. Sometimes you might find that you do not have a lot of content that you actually have. So you do not want the grid lines to keep distracting people. So the way you actually disable the grid lines is there's actually a way for you to be able to just make the grid lines disappear. So how I'm going to do that is, as the icons up here on the toolbar, there's this part that says help. I just click on help. It gives me a search menu for help, for training, for updates, for, suggestions, report abuse, privacy, terms of service. But then here I can just type grid lines, and it's going to give me the ability to just uncheck the box, and you see automatically the grid lines will be able to disappear. So I thought that that's a very important feature that you can be able to, you just type here and then you can say, you bring it back, or you can be able to just type grid lines and then you uncheck the box. It's going to automatically remove the grid lines. So I thought that that's a very important part that you can be able to look at before we have a more comprehensive look at Google Sheets in the coming classes. So you can also be able to insert charts and graphs. So maybe you can just insert a chart here. I just select the data that I want to visualize, and then I come to these icons. You can be able to insert a chart. But the charts for Excel are very basic, so I do not usually recommend that for use. Saying on that. Oh, I know. Can be able to insert a chart. and then you can be able to customize your chart in the way you want it. But we are going to look at that once we start doing that analysis, because I think it's not very relevant for the introductory part. But it's just to show us that you can be able to get the kind of various type of charts, and be able to get two-dimensional and three-dimensional charts. But then there's one other thing I want us to look at. For example, if I'm making, let's say, a title for this work, but then you find that if I keep typing here, let's say generated content for the research, you find that when I click on this other part, for example, this other cell, it's going to make this content to disappear. So what usually happens is I can actually be able to merge several cells and make them into one cell. So what I do is I select the cells that I want to merge, and then I come to this icon here that says select merge type, or merge cells. So you can be able to make all of them to be one cell, so that there's no an input for the rest of the cells that have been merged. So you can be able to obviously customize these merge cells, be able to make it have a fill color, let's say a lighter color, and make the text to be bold, and change the color of the text, just like the normal setting that we have for Microsoft, for Google Sheets and Google Documents. So I think that's it for this particular tool. And unless if people have questions, we have around 10 minutes. I hope we are all, we have all signed in the attendance list. I see there's a question in the chat box. So how do I remove the grid lines? Is I come to this icon that says help, because you see on the toolbar, immediately after the title of the document, there are several options to be able to actually edit the data and to be able to manipulate how you want to have your work displayed. There's this last part that says help. I click on that, and then the place that says search the menu, I just type, I just put the icon there, and then I type here grid lines. And then I type the grid lines. Looks like my internet is getting messed up. I don't know what's the problem. Let's just give it a minute. Seems like it's getting a bit slow. So you see, if I type here grid lines, the icon that comes up here says show grid lines. So if I check that box, automatically my grid lines are going to be displayed, which is the default setting. But then if I want to remove it, I just type here grid lines, and then I uncheck that selection option, and then it will have just a plain white document, white background like the one for a Google document. Any other question? I see somebody has raised their hand. Jackson Justin.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Hello? I cannot hear you, man. Just maybe you can type your message, your text, your question as a text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kindly, because I cannot hear you clearly.
Okay. Okay.
Any other question? Okay. So we're waiting for Jackson's question, and then we'll finish, because our time is actually spent.
Chief, are you getting me?
Okay. So Jackson, your question? Guys, the The signing link is is in the chat box. The signing link is actually in the chat box. So just scroll up and see. I'm sure you'll be able to locate that. Or Bida, you can be able to put it there again for them to be able to sign before we finish up the class. Seems that there are no more questions. So that's it from my side for today, because our time is far much spent. I don't want us to start another tool before, and then our time will not be on our side. Calculations we are going to work on when we do the data analysis. We are going to have a whole day for